Exodus chapter 14. Verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying. Verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, that they turn and encamp before Pi-hahiroth, between Migri and the sea, over against Baal-zephon, for before it shall stand his host in array against thee. Verse 3. For Pharaoh will say of the children of Israel, they are entangled in the land, the wilderness hath shut them in. Verse 4. Then will I stretch out mine hand, and smite Egypt with all my wonders which I will do in the midst thereof, and after that he shall let you go. Verse 5. And I will gather the Egyptian stones, and will scatter them abroad in the land of Goshen, and I will perform my vows, which I have sworn unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob. Historical context. This chapter occurred approximately around 1250 BCE when the Israelites were fleeing Egypt under Pharaoh's oppressive rule. Verse 6. And Moses said, The Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when the waters are dried up before the Israelites, when I will stretch out mine hand upon Egypt and bring forth the children of Israel from among them. Verse 7. Then the angel of God, which went before the camp of the Israelites, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of the cloud went before them, and it stood behind them in the place where they lodged. Verse 8. And it came between the host of the Egyptians and the host of the Israelites, and the angel of God which was going before the host of Israel departed into the rear of the camp of Egypt, and it stood on a part of the ground over against Beth-horon, and the host of Egypt stood on the other side. Verse 9. And it came to pass, that when the Egyptians came out from their city, they said to Moses, If thou let the people go, we will not fight in thine ears, but thus didst thou speak unto us, we will go, even 3 days' journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto the Lord our God. Verse 10. Now therefore be prepared against tomorrow, for the battle is in thy hand, lest thou have to strive against the Lord, for he is with thee, and shall be with thee, when the battle is over before him. Historical context. Pharaoh's army consisted of hundreds of thousands of heavily armed soldiers, along with chariots and warships. Verse 11. And Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused a wind to pass on the sea, and took off the scales from the surface of the water. Verse 12. And it came between the host of the Egyptians and the host of Israel, and it stood for the one as for the other, and it came not nigh the rest. Verse 13. So it is said in Ezekiel the prophet, Thus have ye done, O house of Israel, as I did. Verse 14. And the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh king of Egypt, that he followed after the children of Israel, but they went out on horses set with a strong hand. Historical context. This miraculous event is one of the most celebrated in biblical history, demonstrating God's power and protection over his people. Verse 15. And when all the women which used to follow the Israelites were gone behind their camp, as it were 200 men on foot, at least, and for that they were not well known among the host. Verse 16. Then said he unto his chariot men, I know ye have made a flight from your enemies, but now yet again ye shall go out into battle, for after which ye will never return. Verse 17. Not so, if I ever see thy face again thou shalt not live, for the Lord hath wrought woe upon thee this day. Verse 18. And the Egyptians pursued and came in after them to Tanis, to the east of Egypt, as a pillar of cloud stood over their heads. Historical context. This chapter shows God's mercy towards his people, allowing them to cross safely while Pharaoh's forces were trapped behind. Verse 19. And it came between the host of the Egyptians and the host of Israel, and they took the destruction upon themselves in the day that the Lord destroyed the Egyptian army. Verse 20. And it came to pass, as Moses lifted up his hands toward heaven, so the sea returned to its place, and the waters rushed back at the morning to their original bed, for the Egyptians had fled before them. Verse 21. And thus took they from among the children of Israel the firstborn, that night, but it was a deliverance for the Lord according to his will. Verse 22. And thus said Moses unto the people, Remember this day, in which ye came forth out of Egypt, and out of the house of bondage, for by strength of hand the Lord brought you forth from this place. Historical context. This event gave birth to the annual observance of the Passover feast, remembering God's deliverance and redemption of Israel. Verse 23. And there shall no leavened bread be seen in all thy habitations, for 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread, even the firstborn of Egypt which led thee forth out of the land of Egypt, that thou mayest remember this day, wherein thou camest forth. Verse 24. And it shall come to pass when your children say unto you, What mean ye by this service? Verse 25. Then shalt thou tell them, It is a Passover sacrifice to the Lord thy God, which the Lord will perform for his people, that thou mayest do this in remembrance thereof. Verse 26. And it shall be when your children ask thee in time to come, saying, What is the meaning of this service? Verse 27. Then shalt thou tell them, It was a Passover sacrifice to the Lord thy God, which he will perform for his people, that ye may do this in remembrance thereof. Verse 28. And it shall be when your children ask thee in time to come, saying, What is the meaning of this service? Verse 29. Then shalt thou tell them, It was a Passover sacrifice to the Lord thy God, which he will perform for his people, that ye may do this in remembrance thereof. Historical context. This chapter marked an important milestone in Israel's journey towards freedom and faithfulness to God. Verse 30. Not with one hand shall the garment be torn, but thou shalt cast it off from the sole of thy foot, even unto thine heel. Verse 31. For when the Lord will bring thee into the land of Canaan, he will destroy all nations before thee, and ye shall possess them, and the Lord will set his people apart to himself as a peculiar treasure above all peoples. Verse 32. Thou shalt therefore make this covenant with thine eyes as an act between you and me, when the Lord brings you into the land of Canaan, he will destroy every nation that comes against thee, and thou shalt possess them. Verse 33. Ye shall therefore be witnesses to the people of the earth, ye shall do the word of this law, which I will command you, and observe it with all your hearts and souls. Verse 34. And when ye go in unto the land that the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt set up the blessing of a king over them, he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor bring back any more than what his household needs. Historical context. This chapter shows how the covenant between God and Israel was renewed in the wilderness, demonstrating their commitment to his laws and commandments.